to talk about Jump Force's roster. I used to be so excited about Jump Force back before it came out, and now I just like don't really care about this game anymore. But one of the things I don't like, and one of the things I even maybe like not even want to crossover game that much anymore. I don't really care about the crossover games that much. But if it's a whole jump crossover, I don't really think it can work out anymore. Just with the way this game's roster is. Like, just looking around, like, let's look at the characters. Of course, you gotta choose. It's either you go for the popular characters or you go for the characters who like would fit more in the spots, right? You go like, oh, this is a classic jump character. You can't miss the game. You can't leave him out of the game, right? But that's when it starts to get hard. You gotta go for like a bunch more. Like you see stuff like, okay, of course, Dragon Ball got a bunch of characters. Of course, One Piece got a bunch of characters. And but it's even like that, right? It's like, oh, well, One Piece got Zoro, uh, Luffy, Sanji. They're missing some straw. Like you start thinking stuff like that. But it's like, of course, they can't get all the Straw Hats in if they want to get the other series in, right? And like, oh, dang, this game missing. No, you see that a lot, right? This game missing. No, what the heck? What's wrong with this? Like, disgusting. They're missing. It's missing this, missing that. Missing some Straw Hats. Of course they are. They can't get all the Straw Hats in and have room for other characters. I'm surprised. Should I be surprised Sabo over like Ace or like some other characters? I don't know, man. Sabo. And then they got Naruto, Sasuke. They don't got Sakura. I might be something we'll talk about. I guess if several characters to make it, there would be Naruto and Sasuke, of course. Kakashi, of course. I would think Guy would make it, but did not get in. We got Gara, Kagi. I don't think if this game came out, I guess again, maybe on Jump Force 2, Kaguya wouldn't get in. Like, what the heck? Kaguya, I wouldn't go far and say Kaguya over Sakura is craziness. Like, why is he over? I don't know, man. Madara ended up being DLC. I would have put Madara in base roster and Kaguya as DLC or something. Right? I don't think Kaguya is war face roster. I don't know if that sounds crazy. And then, since like it's different times now, right? Boruto got one character. I think he would have came back out like now, like around now. Boruto probably wouldn't get just one character. But I don't know the way they treat Boruto. Maybe it would still get only Boruto. They feel like they don't have that much confidence in it. Got two Saint Seiya characters, of course. People in the West, Saint Seiya isn't that popular. I don't even know about Pegasus. I don't even know about Brora. So I can't even say anything really. But Saint Seiya has enough to make a whole game for itself, of course. Makes sense. It got two characters. I think this might be my first time seeing Rio. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not. I watched a bit on like TV, right? It's cool. That's like the one pick I guess I wouldn't have expected, right? Everything else is kind of like expected. Nothing really like crazy. And then they got Kenshiro, of course. Kenshiro out because the way you have two Yu-Gi-Oh characters. That's also why I keep talking about Yu-Gi-Oh because Yu-Gi-Oh is not a fighter. Yu-Gi-Oh's not like a fighter the same way that something like Fist of the North Star is. Kenshiro could have easily gotten Rao, could have easily gotten Toki, could have easily gotten Ray, could have gotten Shin. You could have added so many characters from Fist of the North Star, but somehow Yu-Gi-Oh got two. That's why if Yu-Gi-Oh can get two characters in a fighter, then they can make a whole roster. If they could get more than an actual series of a fighting game, right? That's what I've been thinking. They have Ishigo, of course, Rukia, Renji, Aizen, and it's of course too. It's like they got these guys right there. I don't got all like that's why it starts getting tough. I feel like it's hard to like get everything you want to get in, but they're gonna go, of course, go for the most popular ones. Right? It's like a mix of why are you guys only going for the popular characters, and these popular characters don't have enough characters going for them. So it's tough to me, right? It's like hard to do both, right? You want to get the popular characters in and people actually play the game with the characters, or you want to get sort of like the rarer picks in like Rio, So then people were like, "Oh, this is a jump game. We're actually getting jump characters, right?" But they got this is before Dead Impact came out. They got so many Hunter characters. Right? That's like I keep talking about Yu-Gi-Oh, right? They had so many Hunter characters, and Hunter had no game going on. But at least for Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh has a bunch of games going on, so it's not really the same thing. They had this much Hunter characters. Like Hunter could get its own game with how much they're putting in this game, right? And it did end up getting its own game. Of course, it has Gon, Killua, Kurapika, Sokka. And of course, they got all of them in there. Like, of course, they have. If they were to go for someone from JoJo, I think this is when Part 5 was coming out. Of course, they go for Jotaro. Of course, they go for Dio. Makes sense. Yu Hakusho's had games before, but they also got two characters, right? They got Big Bro Toguro, and they got Messi, of course. Makes sense. Also got two characters for Kenshin. Kenshin doesn't get talked about the same way, especially it doesn't get talked about the same way lately, but of course it makes sense. Got two characters. Have Yugi, and this is before stuff like JJK, before Demon Slayer was really doing stuff. So they would have definitely added them into. But damn, it's like they for base monster they had only Deku and only Asta and a Dragon Quest guy, I think. And this is DLC. Looks like they got Kaiba. You got Yugi and Kaiba. That's why I couldn't really like the way they did the moveset. That's like the one thing I think Jump Force did really well. The moveset they have multiple. And I feel like it would be crazier to me they would even put like two Yu-Gi-Oh characters in. Because something like JoJo, at least they have one stand for, and then after like just only model one other character, like and then another character model for their stands. For Yu-Gi-Oh, they would had them switching between the cards they use, which is a lot more work I would think than just like a regular character. So that's why it's like pretty surprising that they would give another character to a Yu-Gi-Oh character. Of course, it's Kaiba. Like, of course, it's not really that crazy. Of course, they put Kaiba in the game. Kaiba is that guy. Everyone loves Kaiba, right? But to have that him all those models on top of it, and a Jump Force, not that much money going into. I would think how the game looks. That's pretty impressive to me. Like that's probably the most impressive thing. The way they did Kaiba, the way they did Yugi. That's what I think about all the time with this game. That's like the only thing I think about from this game. They had two characters from Yu-Gi-Oh, and they have to switch it around with their cards. I feel like that's a lot of work. I feel like that's a lot of work. Bisky, of course, All Might, Fat Boo. See, this is kind of interesting, right? I don't know why they went with Fat Boo. I love Good Boo, but if you ask like a Dragon Ball fans, like, oh, what Dragon Ball characters they add? This is during Super too, right? This is like during or after Super. They added this Fat Boo out of all characters. This is really kind of funny to think about. They have Bakugo, of course, All Might Bakugo. Two reps for them. Toshiro, of course. Aizen. It's reanimated Aizen. This looks terrible. This looks awful. I know he's not alive anymore, but even the reanimation never looked this like crusty. I don't know why he looks so bad. I know he's not alive, God. Like, but dang, this looks really bad. Got Green Jowl, and they all got all the 1,000 Year Blood War designs. Is actually pretty funny. How like to look back at this game and we have these designs. Some games don't even have them yet because it wasn't out yet. Usually they wait for the anime, but there wasn't any anime, so like, oh, let's go ahead and add the 1,000 Year Blood War designs. Pretty crazy. Well, of course, they got Todoroki. Where see, look at all these Hunter characters, right? All the Hunter had so much stuff going for it. People they had all these like I can't even say Hunter had a lot going for it. Hunter had nothing really going on, but they still added Hunter characters to this game because they know people love Hunter. Add a bunch of Hunter characters to the game, and this is kind of like maybe like how it was they were thinking about for a fighting game. Like, damn, if people love Hunter this much, could make a whole game about it. Fortunately, the budget wasn't that there, but you could kind of see what they had going on for it. If they had all these characters going on, like for Hunter for a series that's like finished, you only got and for Yu Yu Hakusho they only got like 3 characters added. pretty interesting. Same, I guess it's the same thing why Bleach got a game too. Of course, Bleach got a game after the anime came back. They have Fighter, all these characters that people love seeing that we added for DLC. Might as well just put them in a game and people will buy the game. It's easy. Right, of course. Got Yurichi. Of course, I can't forget about here, of course. Like, I feel here is just one of those characters people would easily buy. The next Data character they got is Yorono because of part 5, funny he wasn't in the base roster. And then they got the 3 nobody characters. And what it made me realize, right? What fighters made me realize is how good a new character could be. People love 21 so much. If this game wasn't the way it was, maybe this character would be popular. But with how the game is, and these characters don't really look that crazy. Of course, they're just like nothing characters. Nobody ever talks about them. They're attached to Jump Force. It's kind of tough, right? And it didn't go for us to say like people hate these characters because they're taking up 3 spots in a roster where it's like, well, we want more of our popular characters to get in. And when you really think about it, right, the way this roster is built, I wouldn't even say like the only really surprising pick in this roster, or I guess only surprising picks is yes, him Dragon Quest, right? Guy from Dragon Quest and Rio. I think that's the only surprising picks in the whole roster. Right? Other people who like kind of like that's probably I feel like Jumpstars versus did a better job when it comes to roster surprises. But it's either you go for roster surprises and less people will care about the characters, or you do something like this where it's like, oh, big 3, Hunter, just get characters, and then JoJo's of course, get characters people really care about playing, and then fill the roster up with them. Even all the DLC is just from like popular series, and that's how it is like. So that's what really, I don't know. It doesn't really feel like it doesn't feel hype for me anymore. Like I think Jump Force completely killed it for me. I just realized how tough it is to make even just to make a roster that people would like for a crossover game. Like something like Marvel is way easier because for Marvel it'll be like, oh, it's gonna be something like Hulk, and Hulk has maybe like 1 or 2 characters. It's hard like you something like a whole series. It's a whole different series. It's completely different. Something like I can't. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking about it weird because for something like Marvel, people love Spider-Man, and there's a bunch of Spider-Man characters people would like go for, pick for Marvel versus Capcom, or just like Marvel, the way they're doing Tokon. If you really want something like Iron Man, it'd just be Tony Stark, War Machine. I feel like it's easier to get easier to kind of like grab the characters you need to get from the Marvel cast, because you kind of have them all already like fighting together. It's easier to kind of like get them together for it. But when it comes to something like this, the series are way bigger. When it comes to like the random characters, I feel like there's more standout characters. There's something like, oh, this named Iron Man. It's gonna be Iron Man. It's named Naruto, but it has a lot of different things going on in it. So I feel like it's harder than it is for like something like Marvel. That's what I was thinking about. But I only made this video really to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh again. So I was saying before, right? Kenshiro, I mean, I got 1 character, and he has a fighting game. If Kenshiro get 1 character, then I think you could make a Yu-Gi-Oh fighting game, bruh. Might as well make a Yu-Gi-Oh fighting game, bruh. If you could get 1 character from a character who actually has a fighter and has a lot of fighting things going on, then you can make a whole game of Yu-Gi-Oh. That also, I can also yapping about that, right? I should probably be talking about Yu Yu Hakusho, right? Yu Yu Hakusho got Toguro, they got Hiei, and they also got Urameshi, bruh. So maybe I should talk about maybe I should talk about Yu Yu Hakusho getting something, right? They have a lot going on, and they have a lot less work because they don't have a bunch of cards. So maybe I should be talking about them instead, right? Maybe Black Clover will get something someday too, bruh. Because I feel like Black Clover really got. It's just a sad Bandai thing where it's like one game and then they don't do anything else with it. Kind of got ran over when it comes to games. Maybe the anime coming back will get something new for Black Clover. They only got one. They only got one character too, right? I don't remember. I don't think they had. Yeah. Anything else? No, you know nothing, bro. Yami, you know nothing. Yeah, that's tough. Maybe if it was, maybe it was now they would have gotten more Black Clover because I think it was earlier Black Clover. But then that's tough, man. Not even, and then they got these goons. They don't got no Yami, don't got no they got nothing. It's tough.